63% of men under 30 are now single. That's up from 51% just 6 years ago. And here's what no one's talking about. Nearly 60% of the singles aren't even looking for a relationship anymore. They simply have given up. If you're a guy who has deleted the dating apps, stopped approaching women, or convinced yourself that modern dating just isn't worth the effort anymore, this episode is for you. Because what's happening right now just isn't in your head. The data backs up exactly what you're feeling. I'm Matt Russo, and today we're breaking down why men are walking away from dating in 2025. What's really driving this exodus, and whether there's actually a way forward. No sugarcoating, no BS. So let's get into it. Let's start with what you already know from experience. Dating apps are rigged against you. Men make up 57% of dating app users, women only 38%. So you're already competing in a massively oversaturated market. But here's where it gets worse. Visual analysis of apps like Tinder and Bumble show that the average guy receives far fewer matches than women. We're talking single-digit match rates for most men. And if you're under 25 and if you don't have perfect photos, or if you're not a top income bracket earner, you're essentially invisible. You swipe right hundreds of times, you craft thoughtful messages, and you get nothing, or worse, you get ghosted after 3 messages. The rejection rate for men on these platforms is astronomical, and the apps are literally designed that way. These companies profit from your frustration. So let's talk money. The expectation that men should pay for dates hasn't gone anywhere, but your purchasing power has. Housing costs are up. Student loans are crushing millennials and Gen Zs. Career instability is the norm. You're expected to have your life together, to own a car, to have a nice apartment, to take your date to a restaurant that will cost you $100 to $200 per date, all while women are increasingly out earning men in major cities and still expect you to foot the bill. Gentlemen, the math doesn't add up. And guys are looking at it from a cost-benefit analysis and saying, why am I bankrupting myself for 90% chance of rejection? Here's what nobody wants to admit. This is destroying men's mental health. Male loneliness is at epidemic levels. Depression rates among single men are skyrocketing. When you face constant rejection, when you're told you're not good enough over and over again, when you watch women match with the same top 10% of the guys while you're completely ignored, it breaks something inside you. And society's response? Just be more confident. Work on yourself. Or this one, maybe you're the problem. Zero empathy, zero acknowledgement that the game itself might be broken. But the dating apps are just the symptom. The real issues go way deeper. We're living in a massive shift in gender expectations, and no one's written a new rule book yet. Women want equality, as they should have it, but they also still want traditional masculinity when it comes to dating. You're supposed to approach, pursue, pay, lead, but also be vulnerable, emotionally available, and split everything 50-50. These contradictions are impossible to navigate. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. Be too traditional, and you're sexist. Be too passive, you're not masculine enough. There's no winning move here. Instagram and TikTok have completely warped what people think they deserve. Women are comparing every guy they meet to a highlight reel of an influencer or a celebrity. And men, you're doing the same thing. The paradox of choice is real. When you have unlimited options, or you think you do, no one's ever good enough. The person in front of you, when there might be someone just a little bit better, just a swipe away. This affects women too. But men bear the brunt because you're the ones expected to do the pursuing in a market where everyone thinks they're settling. This is hitting Gen Z and younger millennials the hardest. Men 18 to 29 are most likely both single and not sexually active. Your parents' generation never had to deal with this. They met people at work, through friends, at church, at bars. They met people through organic connections. You, on the other hand, you're expected to perform on camera, optimize your profile like a marketing campaign, and compete with guys who have professional photographers and six-pack abs. It's not even the same game anymore. Let's be brutally honest. Economic instability is killing relationships before they start. You can't think about marriage when you can't afford rent. You can't plan a future when your job could disappear tomorrow. Previous generations could buy a house at 25 on a single income. You're 30 living with roommates and one medical emergency away from bankruptcy. Women want security, and they should, but you can't provide what you don't have. So guys are opting out, not because they don't want to connect, but because they can't meet expectations that are literally impossible in this economy. Now, here's where it gets complicated. The male perspective. From your side, it feels like you're putting in 100% of the effort for 10% of the results. I get it, guys. You're expected to be mind readers, ATMs, therapists, entertainers, all while being told that you're not enough. You see women complaining about, where are all the good men? Why they swipe left on 95% of the profiles they view. You watch them chase guys who treat them terribly while ignoring decent guys who will actually commit. And when you point this out, you're labeled as bitter or entitled or an imbecile. There's no space for men to express frustration without being demonized. Now, the female perspective. From the woman's side, and this matters for context, they're dealing with an avalanche of low-effort approaches. Unsolicited, explicit messages, and guys who want to hook up but lie to them and tell them that they want a relationship. Guys, the ladies are frustrated too. They feel like they have to sort through 100 terrible options to find one decent guy. And they're scared. They're scared of violence. They're scared of being used. They're scared of wasting years on someone who won't commit. Both sides are losing, and that's the real tragedy here. So what are men doing instead? Well, some are going full MGTOW, men going their own way, completely removing themselves from the dating market. Others are focusing on hobbies, careers, friendships, travel. Some guys are choosing video games, porn, parasocial relationships with streamers over the stress of real dating. Now, is that healthy? Probably not, but it's understandable, absolutely. When the traditional path feels impossible, people create new paths. And right now, millions of men are deciding that being single and peaceful beats being in a dating market and miserable. So what do we actually do with all this information? First, accept that the game has changed and stop playing by the old rules. Dating apps work for maybe 20% of the guys. If you're not in that 20%, delete them. Seriously, your mental health is worth more than another year of rejection. Focus on real-world connections. Join hobby groups, take classes, volunteer, go to meetups. Yes, guys, I understand it's slower. It does require more effort up front, but the quality of the connection is exponentially better. Work on yourself, but not for women. Do it for yourself. Hit the gym because it makes you feel better. Build your career because you want financial stability. Develop hobbies because they bring you joy. The confidence that comes from self-improvement is magnetic. And if dating is actively harming your mental health, if you're spiraling into depression, if you're bitter and resentful, it's time to take a break. It may be 6 months, it may be a year, however long you need. There is no shame in stepping back to rebuild yourself, but here's the key. Use that time productively. Don't just hide. Heal, grow, figure out who you are outside of your relationship status. Push through. And when you found your footing again, when rejection doesn't destroy you, when you can approach dating from abundance and not desperation, then it's time to get back into the game. The guys who are succeeding in 2025 aren't the ones with the best photos or the most money. They're the ones who have learned to be genuinely interesting, emotionally intelligent, and outcome independent. They talk to women like human beings, not like prizes to be won. They have standards and boundaries, and they're willing to walk away from situations that don't serve them. And most importantly, they've stopped seeking validation from dating success. Their worth isn't tied to whether someone swiped right on them. Look, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say dating is easy in 2025. It's not. The statistics are brutal and the obstacles are real. And if you've given up, I completely understand why. But here's what I want you to remember. You're not broken. The system is broken. And while you can't fix the system, you can control how you navigate it. Just remember, take care of yourself first. And thank you for viewing today. Thank you for watching on the YouTube channel. And thank you for listening on the podcast. And remember, guys, we are not just dating, we are dating to win. And I will see you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to Dating to Win. If you're serious about improving your dating game, don't miss an episode. hit the subscribe button or go to youtube.com/datingtowin25. Good luck out there, and we'll see you on the next episode of Dating to Win.